America. Let's get into today's 4 things to know this afternoon. I'm Eric Erickson. As always, I'll cut through the noise and get to what matters with the facts, the context, and a little bit of analysis you're not going to hear anywhere else. First up, the U.S. Senate just barely passed what President Trump is calling his Big Beautiful Bill. It's actually the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This is the legislative centerpiece of his second term, and it came down to the wire, literally a 51-50 vote, with Vice President J.D. Vance breaking the tie. Now, what's actually in the bill? It's a massive package. We're talking about making the Trump tax cuts permanent if they can, and then some. Tips, overtime, even Social Security income would become mostly tax-free. There's a big chunk of money, $175 billion for border security, another $150 billion for current additional defense spending. There's even a school choice package within the legislation. The part that's getting the most attention is the Medicaid overhaul. The bill imposes work requirements and lowers provider taxes, and the Congressional Budget Office says that could mean nearly 12 million fewer Americans with health insurance over the next decade. Who are those people? Mostly single, childish young people without disabilities currently not in the workforce. This would require they get into the workforce to get assistance. The vote itself was a drama. 3 Republican senators, Rand Paul, Tom Tillis, and Susan Collins, joined Democrats in voting no. Their reasons? Deficit concerns and Medicaid cuts. That left the door open to Vice President Vance to break in and break the tie. Lisa Murkowski from Alaska was a holdout until the very end. She finally voted yes, but didn't say what changed her mind. Insiders say Alaska's rural health care funding in the bill probably played a big role. They carved out exceptions for Alaska. Let's talk about the debt ceiling. The bill raised it by $5 trillion. That's a number that's hard to wrap your head around, but it's not sitting well with fiscal conservatives. The CBO says the bill adds $3.3 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years. The White House pushes back, saying its own math shows a $5 trillion reduction when you factor in economic growth. We will see about that. Now, it's going to head back to the House, where it faces a tough crowd. Conservatives are balking at the deficit. Moderates are nervous about Medicaid. Speaker Mike Johnson is calling everybody back for recess votes tomorrow. Trump wants this done by July 4th. It's going to be a tough fight with no guarantees of passage in the House of Representatives. If they change it, it's got to go to a conference committee with the Senate. Next up, the Elon Musk-Donald Trump feud is heating up in Washington, D.C., as the president and Mr. Musk are fighting with a brand new PAC out. A close Trump ally launched a brand new super PAC. Its sole purpose is to counter Elon Musk's growing political influence. This is not your typical super PAC. The group is backed by Trump loyalists and big GOP donors, and they're making it clear they see Elon Musk as a threat now to Donald Trump's agenda. Their message and mission: support candidates who back Trump's economic policies, oppose those in Elon Musk's camp, and flood battleground states with ads flooding the zone. Why the clash? Musk has become a political force pushing deregulation, energy policies, subsidies for the green energy industry, and a government that's more friendly to innovation. Trump, on the other hand, has accused Elon Musk of taking advantage of federal subsidies and has threatened to investigate Tesla and SpaceX if Musk keeps opposing his policies. The two have been trading barbs in public, on social media, and at press conferences. What does it mean for 2026? We're going to see a wave of negative ads and political maneuvering. It's rare to see a super PAC go after a single business leader, but that's where we are in 2025. The Trump-Musk rivalry is personal, it's political, and it's not going away anytime soon. Third, we need to talk about the economy. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell gave a big speech today, and he didn't sugarcoat things. Inflation is still running hotter than the Fed likes. Powell says interest rate hikes could actually be on the table if prices don't come down. He also addressed the ongoing tariffs and trade dispute. The Trump administration's new tariffs are adding uncertainty, raising consumer prices, and disrupting supply chains. Powell said the labor market is still strong. He warned that Wall Street's record highs are unmasking some real weaknesses underneath. He also talked about the importance of dollar swap lines, essentially tools the Fed uses to keep global markets stable, especially as trade tensions escalate. The markets didn't love what they heard. The Dow is up as I'm recording. The S&P 500 and NASDAQ both came off great quarters. They slipped as investors digested Powell's warnings that the Fed may not be done raising rates. However, he also noted if the economic news changes, they could actually make some cuts in July. They just want to see the data next week. The bottom line is Jerome Powell's message is clear. The road ahead is bumpy. Policymakers and investors need to be ready for more volatility as the Fed tries to balance inflation, tariffs, and all the headwinds coming out of Washington. Again, though, he did say if the data next week changes, they may consider a rate cut in July. Finally, a federal judge just blocked the Trump administration's sweeping plan to overhaul the Department of Health and Human Services. It's a big deal, and here's why. The administration wanted to consolidate 28 divisions into 15, close half the regional offices, and cut about 10,000 jobs. They argued it would make HHS more efficient and save money, but a coalition of 19 Democrat-led states and D.C. sued, saying the move was illegal and would cripple the agency's ability to serve Americans. The judge, Melissa Dubose, sided with the states. She called the administration's plan arbitrary, capricious, and in violation of the law, and said the executive branch can't just reorganize agencies created by Congress. For now, all layoffs and restructuring are on hold while the legal fight plays out on this matter. Why does this matter? Well, it means the current setup of the Health and Human Services stays in place, at least for now. For millions who rely on Medicaid, the CDC, and Head Start, nothing's going to change yet. But it's a reminder the limits of executive power and how the courts can shape what happens in Washington and slow down the executive still, even without universal injunctions on the table. That's your 4 things to know this afternoon. From the halls of Congress to the Fed to the courts, these stories are shaping the country and your life. I'm Eric Erickson. Until next week, and yes, until next week, stay informed, stay engaged, have a fantastic 4th of July, and please, as always, keep the faith.